like, subscribe, and stay in touch for future updates. Racists say if Jesus, who is Yahshua, is black, they won't follow him and acknowledge his teachings. Newsflash: you never have. You've never followed the teachings of Jesus. And 2026 years later, you still haven't, and you're doing the same thing. You lied about who he was. You are misteaching his teachings, and you've used his teachings to colonize, enslave, pillage, and steal resources from indigenous people, and you are still doing the same thing. An example: you call Alexander the Greek, you call him Alexander the Great, but what did he do other than rob, pillage, and steal? See, you understand this. Satan's power is Satan's ability to lie to people and get them to believe his lies so that they vote against their best interests. This can be understood by looking at Donald Trump. Donald Trump is a liar. He lied the first time when he was in office and told you that he was going to give you a better health care system, and he did just the opposite. He tried to destroy it, and yet and still you voted for him again. Why? Because he is satanic. But the question is, why did you believe his lies? Because you thought that his lies would be advantageous to you. There is a question that has been circulating for decades. And the question is, can a thief be trusted? If a thief could be trusted, he would not be a thief. It's only common sense. It's only common sense. Now is the time of the awakening. And the awakening is being spearheaded by the internet. The internet is exposing lies. Exposing lies. And every racist, when you look in the mirror, you're looking at Donald Trump. Every would-be racist, when you look in the mirror, you're looking at Donald Trump. And I say this to say that Latinos, you voted for Donald Trump. The black people that are from Senegal, I believe it is, you also voted for Donald Trump. And what did you get for it? You see, there is no honor among thieves. And you voted for a felon. You are getting what you deserve. Those who have been subscribers to my videos and you watch my videos, then you know that everything that is happening now, I predicted, I prophesied it a long time ago. You go back to my videos, you see it. I told you that Ukraine would lose the war to Russia. And I told you why. Israel is going to lose the war to Iran. And I told you why. However, what I didn't tell you is this. The United States is going to get the same thing Germany got. You see, Iran, Russia, China, they all have supersonic weapons. They all have supersonic weapons. And even if the United States or Israel tried to launch a nuclear attack, those supersonic missiles can take those nuclear missiles out before they reach Iran, Russia, and China. They can be taken out. Now, the internet has also told black people, those of us who are paying attention, they told us that the melanin in our skin is spiritual. It has spiritual powers. I have been trying to develop the spiritual powers of my melanin to be able to withstand nuclear radiation. And the reality is that if you rub the fur of an animal back, you will find out that that animal is Caucasian. So the question is, what protects him? It has to be the fur, stopping the penetration of radiation, or either absorbing the radiation in the food it eats. I feel like this. I have a better advantage because my skin absorbs radiation from the sun, and everything on earth came out of the sun. And I believe that if I do the right diet and prepare my mind, mentally prepare my mind, I will be able to absorb low levels of radiation. Not to an extent, maybe and eventually the full levels of radiation. And I think this is done by certain foods that you eat. I think that one thing is for sure, you have to eat a lot of green leaves, because green leaves do nothing but absorb sunlight. And that will increase my body's ability to absorb sunlight. Also, eating black rice, black beans, anything that is dark in nature, I feel will help the melanin in my body and strengthen it. And there are certain plants that we should eat. One being moringa. If you pay attention, you will realize that, as usual, Caucasians are usurping the teachings of Dr. Sebi. Caucasians are usurping the teachings of Dr. Sebi, and the diet of Dr. Sebi proved in a court of law that he can heal, that if you follow his diet, it will heal cancer and all other diseases. If you pay attention, you'll know that he went through court and he did this. But as usual, just like Caucasians use Yahshua and turned him into a white man, they're doing the same thing with our ideas. They usurp our ideas, and then they say that these are their ideas. Who invented the car? Black man. Who invented the airplane? Black man. Who invented blood plasma? A black man. Who invented refrigeration? A black man. Who invented the telephone? A black man. And this is the year 2026, and they're still doing the same thing. Now but understand this, the 400-year curse is over. And if you look around, you can see that that curse is over. But the main point of this video was to say one thing. To those racists who say that if Jesus, who is actually Yahshua, is black, they won't follow him or acknowledge his teachings. Newsflash, you never did. Slavery goes against all the 10 commandments. You have the synagogue of Satan, Revelations 2:9 and 3:9. They have always said they didn't believe in Yahshua, Jesus, but they followed Moses. But Moses was a scribe of God. Moses was a scribe of Yahweh, and Yahweh gave him the 10 commandments. And the fake Jews of Israel do not have broken all 10 commandments. And they do so today as they commit genocide in Gaza and then expect us not to believe what we see. Understand this. Netanyahu is a criminal, an international criminal. Trump is an international criminal because he supported Israel. Now, if you think it is advantageous to believe in a lie, then that's your business. But you're going to suffer from it. It will not pay dividends. I could say more because my cup runneth over. But I'm going to end here and tell you to have a nice day. Hit the like button. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, subscribe to my channel so that I can get my message so I can send my message to more people, and so that you can also be a scribe of God, which is to be a secretary of God. To be a secretary of God, you must pass forth God's messages when you hear it. And that's why I say like and subscribe and follow God's messages. Because it's not about being a pastor, a preacher, a deacon. It's about being a scribe of God, a secretary of God. That is the person who passes along God's, Yahweh's message. And I at one time called myself a sage, a seer, but the reality is I am a scribe of God, a messenger of God, a secretary of God. And in my opinion, that is the highest that you can be as you work toward the development of your spirituality. Now understand this. To be a highly spiritual person is to be unencumbered by the gravity of Earth. To be a highly evolved person is to be unencumbered by the gravity of Earth. Now, what do I mean by the gravity of Earth? Temptations. To be unencumbered by the temptations. Greed. Sexual disorder. Overeating. Stealing. All of these things can be considered the gravity of the earth. And when Yahshua said he walked on water, it meant that he was free of the gravity of earth, which would be false desires. Like, subscribe, stay in contact for future updates. With that, have a nice day.